Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for being here with me. Spare a few moments out of your busy day with me. I really appreciate it. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to anyone who has liked my videos, who has watched my videos, who has participated on my channel. Special thank you to my members, and a special thank you to those of you who've bought me a Ko-fi, sent me a super chat, sent me an email, left me a nice message, or participated in my channel in any way. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to talk about Nicola Bulley. And if you've been following my channel for a while, right from the minute this lady disappeared, we were following this case. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it first, just in case you don't know about this case. Now, this is a docu-series that I'm doing because this case happened quite a long time ago now, a year and a half ago, more or less, nearly a year and a half ago. Can't believe it's been that long ago. But there were so many twists and turns in this case, which really in some ways is not a case. There's no foul play has ever been proven in this case, but it's still a case that just grabs the attention of everyone. People are not happy with the outcome of this case, and there's so many controversies, if you like. There were so many conflicting reports that it's left people with a sort of a not happy feeling that this case has been dealt with and that justice has been given to Nicola Bulley. So let's have another, let's look at a different picture of her. I mean, I've got so many photos of her. Nicola was such a lovely, just looks like she was a lovely person. I'm going to leave this photo up for a little while because this is my favourite picture of Nicola with the lamb. Now then, so just in case you don't know the background, because this is part 2 of the docu-series that I'm making, and this installment, if you like, will be looking specifically at the changing timeline on the morning that Nikki disappeared. So on the 27th of January 2023, which was a Friday, a 45-year-old woman, Nicola Bulley, dropped her 2 daughters off at school in St Michael's-on-Wyre, a small village in Lancashire, England. She then took her beloved Springer spaniel Willow for a walk beside the local River Wyre, as she had done almost every day for years. Let's have a look at her with her beloved dog. So it was described as her 3rd child. You know, she was so close to this dog. Oh, so there's a picture of her with Willow. And this was something that Nicola did every day, you know, for years. We all do it, don't we? We have our routines depending on what's going on at the time. You know, if you've got young children, you often drop the children off, then take the dog for a walk, or you might take a dog for a walk first, then drop the children off at school. But we all have our routines, don't we, that we do most weekdays. And if we haven't still got young children, we still have a routine of what we do. And this is a routine that Nicola had been doing for years and years, and walking beside the river, and nothing untoward had ever happened before. And in fact, nothing untoward has ever happened by that river. So, however, she then literally disappeared into thin air, and leaving behind her an agitated dog, her mobile phone, and the dog's harness, either on the bank of the river or on the bench, depending on, whoever you're listening to. This is the main problem in this case. One, and I'm talking about official sources can't get it right. You know, the police will say one thing, the inquest, the coroner's inquest said another thing. Where was her mobile phone? Where was the harness exactly? We still don't know. I don't think there's, I could even today, as you'll see, as I'm reading out to you in this video, the official reports of what happened, because today is the episode that I'm doing is about the changing face of the timeline. That's what's confusing everybody, all the different things, you know, that the official people say. So anyway, so whether a dog's harness was on the bank of the river or whether it was on the bench, whether a mobile phone was on the floor or whether it was on the bench, who knows? Anyway, Lancashire Constabulary immediately said there was no evidence of either suspicious activity or third-party involvement in her disappearance, and they immediately stated that their working hypothesis was that she had fallen into the River Wyre. Now let's have a look at some photos of the River Wyre. Very calm river, a very shallow river. Of course, it was winter, it was cold, it would have been cold, but it's the sort of river you can see to the bottom of it. It's not a fast flowing river. Anyway, this was the police's immediate hypothesis, that she had fallen into this river. You know, not everybody agrees with that. However, also an extensive search of the river and surrounding land involving police, divers, mountain rescue, fire department, helicopters, sniffer dogs and drones did not find Nicola for 23 days. So on the 19th of February, 23 days later, Nicola's body was found in the river by a man and a woman walking in the area. About 1 mile downstream of St. Michael's on Wyre. And this man was a medium, Jason Rothwell. And her inquest, which concluded in June 2023, determined that Nicola's death was due to accidental drowning. And her family seemed satisfied with this verdict. However, Nicola's case drew international attention, with much speculation on both mainstream and social media as to what had really happened to her. And even now, after the result of the inquest and the College of Policing review of the case, which was released in October 2023, speculation continues as to what really happened. And this speculation has been fueled by many anomalies and strange events surrounding this case. So in this docuseries, I'll be looking at some of them and asking, how do we view these things now so much time has passed and in view of more information that's come to light? So in part 1, if you haven't seen it, the welfare check, you can find the link in the description, because on February the 10th, Nicola had a welfare check at her house because her family were concerned about her mental and physical welfare. And I'll put the link in the description for you to, so that's really where all the conjectures started. Because, yeah, a huge reason that people are dubious about what happened to Nikki are the discrepancies and contradictions around the timeline that morning that Nicola was supposedly last seen dropping her children off to school and walking her dog Willow by the River Wyre. Now, let's just have a look. I've got a picture that I want to show. So a subscriber of mine a while ago very kindly sort of sent me these photos, which I think are very descriptive. So you've got the benches here, the lower field where Nicola was seen walking the dog, the upper field that she was seen walking the dog. Now, Nicola's body was found right up here. So it's supposedly it's come all the way up here. Now, bearing in mind, Nicola's body supposedly has come all this way in a slow-moving river, or a not practically hardly flowing at all river. Not only that, but not been found, despite the fact there was huge searches going on for the first couple of weeks. There was massive searches going on, but she was never found. And not only that, she travelled all the way around here. This bit here is practically, that's like a sandbank. You know, the boats that were going around here, the sonar boats, you know, they had to stop and get out and push because, you know, it just seems crazy that she could have travelled all that way, and she was actually found quite a way. She came over the Wyre. Anyway, you know, these are the problems. These are the things that people are not happy about. Here's another one. Yeah, sort of going the other way, is it? So this is the school where Nicola dropped off her children. I'm still not quite sure. Did she leave the car there and walk from there? This is the church where Nicola is now buried, in the cemetery of that church. She came over the bridge. I've been here to this. Unfortunately, the day I went there, it was absolutely pouring down with rain, so I didn't get very good footage and things. So it's really great that my subscribers have sent things like this. This particular person has sent some fantastic aerial footage, which we're going to see at the end, etc. But yeah, this is you know, this is the journey, if you like. But a lot of people don't believe it. And the reason that we don't believe it, the official version of what's supposed to have happened to Nicola, the reason we don't believe it is because there's so many contradictions, even on the official, from the official sources. But the thing that makes this case very difficult to even look into or say anything about is her family have accepted it. You know, normally when you're looking at things that look a bit sort of, you know, that you feel that there's more to them, the family are behind it. Like, no, we don't believe this, you know, find out what happened to our loved one. We're not happy with the official version. But that's not the case in this. So it does make it very difficult because the family are happy with the inquest verdict. We'll be looking at the inquest later on. But the inquest found it was just really an accidental death. But you'll see as we go along, if you don't already know anything about this story, you'll see as we go along why so many people are not happy with that. They do not believe it. They do not believe that this was purely an accident. Okay. So the controversy starts right at the beginning, from when Nicola leaves the house. So we've got some CCTV of Nikki leaving the home that she shared with her partner Paul Ansell and their two children, which actually is in Inskip, or was in Inskip. I don't know if he still lives there. Let's have a look at Paul. So this is her partner Paul with Willow when he was given an interview. We'll be looking more closely at Paul later on in this docu-series. But this is where the controversy started. So Nikki left her house, apparently. And this is the video. And credit to Grizzly True Crime. Sorry, let's go back to that. To Grizzly True Crime, so that's why I'm giving credit to Grizzly True Crime. Then other people have said that it's been manipulated, you know, that it's from another day or it's been tampered with. I personally, I just don't know enough. One, why was it, you know, released to a YouTuber? Two, why does it just stop there? So let me go back to it again. It just... Is he putting the kids in the back? I mean, what is he doing? I don't know. Just all look. I don't know. I'm not saying it's false CCTV. It's just I don't understand what the point of it is. Just releasing a little snippet of CCTV like that. Why not just the whole thing from when they come out? You know, from when watch her drive off, watch Paul go back into the house. Just seems weird to me. That's all. I would say I don't know if it's been doctored. I don't know about that. It just still seems strange. So many YouTubers are convinced that it wasn't even Emma, that it could have been her, that it wasn't even Nikki, that it could have been her friend Emma, and there will be an episode on Emma. This is her friend Emma, who a lot of people weren't very happy with. As for, you know, there's a lot to say about Emma. And that will be in another episode that I'll be talking about. But you can see the similarities. So a lot of people think that wasn't even Nikki there. That was Emma in that CCTV, or at least part of it was Emma. Again, I don't really know enough about that to comment on that. Or they think it was for CCTV from a different day, which is a possibility. So I don't have the expertise to prove or disprove those theories, but I'm sure the police do. I'm sure the police do. So wouldn't they surely have disproved them or proved them? And then after the inquest, oh, and don't forget that CCTV was not released by the police. That CCTV was released by Paul's friend to a YouTube channel, you know, and no offense to Grizzly True Crime, but why? You know, if your partner had gone missing, and, you know, bearing in mind, I think at the time, had she been found? I'm not sure if she'd been found or not before they released that CCTV. But whatever, you know, your partner's missing and then found deceased in the river. Would you really get involved with a YouTube channel and, you know, send the CCTV there? And why did the police, you know, normally the police give CCTV out, don't they, when they're trying to find somebody, or it's just a total. This is what makes people not sure about it. So it's all very well and good. There's going to be a documentary, another rubbish documentary coming out in the autumn, isn't there, about this, and it'll all be slagging off social media and slagging off anybody who's like confused about what happened. But it is confusing. If you don't want it to be confusing, do it properly. That's the way I look at it. You don't want people to theorize or make conspiracy theories. Just tell them what actually happened. So yeah, why did the police themselves not release this CCTV? Because normally they do. Anyway. Oh, and then after the inquest, they came out with another photo, which, hang on, I've got to just, got to load it up. Yeah, so after just releasing that very little bit of CCTV, then after the actual inquest, the police then decided to release another photo from the CCTV. Again, why now? Why after the inquest? Why not before, when they were looking for her? Now, bear in mind that the inquest was 6 months nearly after Nicola was unfortunately found deceased in the river. So it was a long time where the coroner was not giving out any information. He said he wasn't going to give out any information until the inquest. So there was this sort of total void of information about Nikki. And what happens when you've got a void of information? People fill it in with things. Gosh, I can't find this photo now. Hang on. Oh, I can't find the photo. Just have another look. Now, I had this ready before, but things. They're there 1 minute, and then when you're looking for them, they're gone. And then I'll find it. I'll find this photo when I'm looking for another one, I'm sure. Now, there are some people, of course, who think that this is some sort of psyops. That it's big cover up by the police. I don't know about that, because I just think, why? There's got to be a reason for things. And if they, I don't understand the reason. And let me just show you what this is. Some photos of a dog. I can't find the photo released. Hang on, or have I got that somewhere else? Yeah, so as the inquest finished, the police decided to release this photo. But why did they not release it, before? I just don't understand. So yeah, then on the day of the inquest, on the day that the inquest finished, they released this picture, which is of them all coming out, or the kids coming out, the dog, Paul, before Nicola came out. Why then? You know, it's very mysterious, I think. You know, when you make mystery, when you make things mysterious, you can't be surprised when people start to wonder about what's going on, can you? So yeah, why drip feed this? Why not just show the whole thing? Anyway, it seems evident that Nikki did arrive at the school to drop off the children, as witnesses at the inquest reported not only seeing her but speaking to her. There is said to be some police cam of Nicola travelling to or arriving at the school. But yet again, we as the public, we've not been shown this for some mysterious reason. What is the mystery? Anyway, I'm going to read you the official timeline and show you, as reported by the College of Policing report, which was released in November. Unhelpfully, in this particular timeline, the witnesses are referred to by letter instead of name. So the College of Policing report was supposed to be an independent external review of Lancashire Police, because there was so much controversy and mystery. And I'm going to read you Appendix C, which is the initial timeline of events. Now, I need to say, for some unknown reason, some unhelpful reason, they decided to refer to people as person A, person B, etc., instead of using names, which makes it very, very confusing. But after this, I'm going to read you the official timeline from the summing up of the coroner's report that I received directly from Dr. Aidley. You know, you can compare them, but it's almost like it's deliberately to confuse everyone. So this is the official timeline according to the College of Policing, but there's controversies, there's conflicting things with this and what came up as the inquest, you know. So this is why there is so many problems in this case. So let me just make sure that's showing. Yeah. So at 8:26, Nicola is seen to leave her home address with her 2 children in the car. Footage from video doorbell. 8:35, phone data analysis locates Nicola's phone at her children's school. 8:35, 8:40. And now that's a funny thing that they say as well, I think. Phone data analysis locates Nicola's phone at her children's school. Wasn't Nicola there then, just her phone? 8:35 to 8:40, person A sees Nicola outside her children's school walking her dog Willow. Person A remained at the school for another 10-15 minutes before making their way to the dog field. Undisputed ID. 8:40, children start their school day in St. Michael's on Wyre. Police dashcam footage shows Nicola's car in the car park at this time. 8:45, approximately, person B speaks to Nicola in the car park after dropping their children off at school. Nicola stands at her car with the boot open, with Willow in the boot. The two have a brief conversation before person B returns to their own car. Undisputed ID. 8:42, approximately, person C sees Nicola walking towards them down Garstang Road with Willow. Behind Nicola was a male dressed as a workman. So note they mentioned that there. Now there's a lot of talk about this man in black. Nobody's ever said who this man in black is. He's never come forward. In fact, I've got let's have a look. I've got a well, you know, there's been this is Peter Falding asking someone to take a photo of this man in black. You know, it's like they're deliberately, are they? Maybe it is a psyop. Are they deliberately trying to confuse people? Because although this man was referred to, the workman, the man in black, whatever, nobody ever came forward. He was never identified. So behind Nicola was a male dressed as a workman. Person C lets both pass. The male is then seen to walk towards a white van parked on the tarmac. Nicola continues walking towards the direction that person C had come from. There are no conversations between the two and they go their separate ways. So bear in mind, this one of the most sort of famous cases of that time, you know, in that area, and this man in black or this workman, they've never come forward. 8:43, CCTV footage of the river path possibly shows Nicola walking from the direction of the Iron Footbridge and Garstang Road towards the area containing the gate and bench. Confirmed by phone data analysis. We've never seen that CCTV footage either. Why is it all so secret? 8:46.30. I mean, how precise can you get? Phone data analysis locates Nicola at the area containing the gate and bench. But again, this is her phone, not necessarily her being seen. 8:47. While walking back towards the gate along the riverbank, person D, who knows Nicola, sees Nicola having just entered the field, turning left and taking the route that person D has taken. Willow and person D's dog run over to each other and person D calls their dog back. At this time, person D sees Nicola with her phone out in front of her. 8:48.55. Phone data analysis locates Nicola walking across the lower field towards the upper field. CCTV footage from Allotment Lane shows person E walking towards the river path from Allotment Lane. Person E walks through the gate near to a neighbour's house. Person F. What? And halfway along the path towards the gate and bench, person E doesn't reach this gate and turns back, walking towards the Iron Footbridge. Person E notes a dog in that area on the grass. Person E goes on the fields and doesn't notice anyone else. 8:52 approximately. Person D leaves the lower field via the gate and walks along the river path towards Allotment Lane. 8:53. Nicola's employer receives an email from Nicola regarding a mortgage client. Again, we don't actually know anything about the final email that she's supposed to have sent. You know, we've never been sort of shown. It feels like it's hidden. We don't know anything about Nicola's work or employer or anything really. Not officially, I'm saying. I know people are saying things here and there, but officially, you know, if official information was released, then people wouldn't cast aspersions, you know, and make assumptions. 8:54 CCTV footage shows person D on Allotment Lane returning from their dog walk. Prior to this point, while reaching the gate at the end of Allotment Lane, person D sees person E walking a dog on a lead. 8:55 person A begins their walk along Garstang Road from the school over the Iron Footbridge and turns right immediately to follow the riverside footpath. 8:55:15 phone data analysis locates Nicola walking in the upper field. Again, is it Nicola? Nicola sends a message to person G via messenger regarding arrangements for their children at the weekend. 8:59.33 phone data analysis shows Nicola around Rowan Water. 9 o'clock approximately, person A reaches the gate where the bench is located. As they walk through the gate into the lower field, they can see Nicola's silhouette and Willow walking diagonally ahead of them, approaching the hedgerow to the upper field. 9:01, Nicola's phone logs into a Microsoft Teams call at work. There are 41 people logged into this call. 9:01:57, phone data analysis places Nicola around Rowan Water. 9:02:49, phone data analysis places Nicola around Rowan Water, and the same 9:03:44. 9:05, person A continues walking and next sees Nicola as person A is passing Rowan Water site. At this time, person A can see Nicola on the opposite side of the field, near to the river's raised embankment. Willow is off her lead and is running back and forth to Nicola. 9:10, person A continues walking around the path and sees that Nicola has now done a second loop of the top field. So Nicola is now behind person A. Nicola is just passing Rowan Water where the river starts to straighten. Person A hears Willow barking and being called by Nicola. Person A then sees Nicola and Willow continue with their walk. This is the last time that person A sees Nicola. Person A then continues to walk diagonally along the field across the field towards the separating hedgerow and back along the field towards the gate where they first entered the field. Person A can no longer see Nicola or Willow due to the hedgerow. Person E returns, 9:10, person E returns from the river path area on allotment lane. 9:15 approx. Person A leaves the field and walks onto the river path towards allotment lane. 9:18, CCTV footage shows person A walking past person F's house along allotment lane from the direction of the field. At this time, person A sees person F pottering around the shed. This is Penny Fletcher. Person A doesn't see anyone else. 9:20, person A passes person H's house on allotment lane. 9:20, person A is seen on CCTV footage at the junction of allotment lane and Garstang Road. This walk has been timed and takes approximately 5 minutes to the area containing the gate and the bench. 9:23, CCTV footage shows person F leaving their home address to take their dog for a walk around the river. Person F walks through the new gate at the end of allotment lane to the riverside and walks through the area that person F calls Hughes. As person F walks, the river is on their right. At 9:30, Nicola's Microsoft Teams call ends, but Nicola is still logged into the meeting. Nicola and 2 other people were still logged into the meeting after it finished. 9:43 and 15:30. What does that mean? What? 9:33, approximately person F arrives at the gate and sees a brown Springer dog, Willow, running around with his tail wagging towards the gate and his back towards the bench. Person F sees a dog harness on the slope. Now note she says here on the slope, ties their own dog up and looks around. Nicola's mobile phone is on the bench with the screen lit up. Person F picks the dog harness up and uses twine in their coat to tie Willow to the bench. Person I, or is it person L, I don't know, at 9:35 leaves Rowan Water site for a dog walk via the rear gate into the upper field, confirmed by CCTV. As person I, heads across the field, they see person F with a dog nearer to the bench in the distance. As person I gets nearer, they recognise person F. Person F sees person I approaching and says they've tied the dog up. Person I turns around and continues to walk around the field. I think that is Ron, isn't it? Or he wasn't really called Ron. God, do you know, it's so confusing. Then heads back towards Rowan Water. And then 9:35. Now, this apparently is when person J hears a scream. This is why in the inquest they dismiss these screams, because they say these screams came after whatever had happened to Nicola happened. 9:40, person J hears a female scream coming from the direction of allotment lane in the river area. Now, they said then at the inquest it might just have been people messing about, but again, those people have not come forward. Why have they not come forward to say it was them who screamed? 9:40, person F unties their own dog and walks back home to allotment lane. Person F leaves Willow tied to the bench and leaves Nicola's mobile and dog harness at the bench. 9:40 to 9:45, person K leaves their home address on Rawcliffe Road and walks their dog around the village. Person K walks onto the river path from Garstang Road. And 9:47, CCTV footage confirms person F returning home. 9:59, CCTV footage shows person I returning to Rowan Water through the gate, and person F calls Moy Vets. So don't we think that the number for Moy Vets was on Willow's dog tag? Or did they just, maybe they use Moy Vets as well? Now, of course, Moy Vets causes this other thing, because there was a young girl who worked at Moy's Vets, maybe not at that particular one, but another branch of Moy's Vet, who then there's a big Evelina Sassak, that will be part of this docu-series as well, what happened to her, because there's a lot of mysteries in this case, not only what happened to Nicola, but what happened to a lot of other people that were involved in it. And I'll be looking at all of them in separate episodes. So person F calls Moy Vets. Then at 10:04, they call a friend, person L, from their home number. Person F also calls person M. Person M informs person F that person K, do you know what I mean? It's like, do you ever remember that old comedy series, Soap? If you're not confused, you will be. Is out walking their dog. Person F explains to person M about Willow and the mobile phone they found on the bench. Now, I'm going to stop there reading this timeline, because that will come into sort of the search part, the next episode of this docu-series. We've gone past the bit. All I'm concerned about in this is the actual timeline up to when Nicola disappeared. So I'm not going to carry on now with this timeline. That'll be for the next episode. So you can see from what we know so far, according to the official, the official timeline, as I say, the next installment will be the search itself. So now I'm going to read you the official summing up of Nicky's movements that morning. Now this is from the coroner himself. This is much more helpful as names are actually given instead of letters. So I just want to show you a picture of some of us will remember Dr. Aidley, but of course Dr. Aidley is the chief coroner for Lancashire. You may have seen him on your TV because he's famous. He's in the TV programme Cause of Death. He's a TV celebrity as well as, so much for someone wanting to be professional and quiet and discreet. He's on the TV show Cause of Death. It's him who dealt with the inquest, and these words I'm going to read to you now, these are his words. These are actually his words. I've just got to find them. Hang on. I've got them prepared somewhere. Oh, what did I do with them? No, he's much more helpful. As I say, names are used rather than letters, which was absolutely no help whatsoever, was it? So I'm going to read you out what it says. So Nikki's movements on the 27th of January 2023. On 27th of January 23, Nikki left the house to take her children to school with her Springer Spaniel Willow in the boot. Just after 8:30 a.m, Kate Kernan spoke to Nikki in the school car park and discussed the dogs for several minutes. Nikki then walked up Galstang Road and turned right onto the path. In fact, I'll share this. This is, oh, I'm not sure if I can actually, because I've put it on, no, I'll read it out, sorry. So I've put it on a Microsoft Word document. Nikki then walked up Garstang Road and turned right onto the path which joins up with the path coming from Allotment Lane and proceeded to walk in a clockwise direction around the outside of the two fields on her usual 2 laps. Nikki was last seen alive by Claire Chesham, a fellow dog walker, at approximately 9:10 a.m. on a second circuit of the field at a point farthest from the bench where Willow was later found. At 9:18 a.m, Nikki adjusted the volume on her phone, presumably in respect of the work Teams call that she had joined just after 9 a.m. DC Keith Greenhalgh interpreted the Fitbit Versa 4 watch Nikki was wearing on the 27th of January. He explained her Fitbit recorded steps in 15-minute segments. On the 27th of January, between 8 and 9:30 a.m, Nikki's Fitbit recorded 4,548 steps. Between 9:15 and 9:30 a.m, Nikki's step count was 273 steps, a substantial reduction from the previous hour and 15 minutes, where she averaged 855 steps for each 15-minute period. There were no further steps recorded on the watch after 9:30 a.m. So that's why they presume that whatever happened to her at 9:30, I suppose. At 9:20 a.m, Nikki's phone was located by 3 handset pings to be in the area of the bench. At 9:22 a.m, Nikki's watch recorded a substantially increased heart rate of the data series examined for that morning before 9:33. Penny Fletcher was walking her own dog and arrived at the stile by the side of the bench at 9:33 a.m. Mrs. Fletcher found Willow running loose, Nikki's mobile phone on the bench that was still connected to a Teams call, and a dog harness, which was later found to have a retractable lead attached to it, midway between the bench and the River Wyre. Mrs. Fletcher said there was no one in sight, so she tied Willow to the bench with some twine. In summary, Nikki was last seen alive at approximately 9:10 a.m, interacted with her phone at 9:18 a.m, when she adjusted the volume, and Mrs. Fletcher found Willow with no one in sight at 9:33 a.m. This provides a maximum window of time of 15 minutes between the last known point that Nikki was alive and when she was not present in the area of the bench. Now, to me, I just think this is really, that's a long time. You know, let me go to a picture of Nikki because she's nicer to look at than Dr. Aidley. I just think this is a massive amount of time, 15 minutes There's so much can happen in 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go quiet for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Now, bearing in mind, this was 15 minutes. I think anything, there's so many different things. 15 minutes not accounted for in Nikki's movements. It's a huge amount of time. Literally anything could happen. So, as I say, 2 minutes, I'm going to go quiet. Okay, so that probably wasn't actually quite 2 minutes. I just did it on my computer. But I bet there were people there going, no, it's all gone quiet. Oh my God, the video's frozen or what's happened. But, the time to do a lot of things, that's 2 minutes. It was 15 minutes that Nicola, between Nicola being seen and whatever happened to her. Anything could happen, couldn't it? Now, the only thing that I would say is that when I was there at that spot, let's put a different picture up of her. When I was there at that spot, it is very open. You just think, how could anything happen without somebody seeing it? Nobody heard a splash. So if Nicola did fall in accidentally into the water, why did nobody hear a splash? Why did Willow not jump into the water? Willow, the dog that loved water, that would be like panicking, that her owner had got fallen in the water. Just doesn't ring true to me. I don't believe it was accidental death. I still believe something happened to Nicola that day. I don't know what. I'm not saying it was anything to do with Paul. I have no idea or what happened to Nicola. But to me, even if somebody pushed her in, why did no one hear the splash? Why did the dog do nothing? There's too much to me. There is too much speculation of possibilities that could have happened for it to be so clear cut that an inquest verdict of accidental death could have been made. That's my opinion. Anyway, we've got a long way to go yet with this docu-series. I'm sure you've got your ideas about what you think happened to Nicola. Could be a psyops. It could, I don't believe that, but it could be. Anything's possible, isn't it? But that's why I was so surprised when it was an accidental death verdict. Not because I'm saying it couldn't be an accidental death. It could have been, but because I'm saying it's not clear there it was. So yeah, this 15 minutes, a huge amount of time, so many discrepancies in this case. And this concludes part 2 of this docuseries. So many discrepancies. No wonder people are still certain that there's more to Nicky's mysterious death. Now, in part 3, I'll be looking at the search and the failure to find Nicola for 23 agonising days. That's what we'll be looking at next. Let me put a different picture up for you to have a look at. Just have a look at the picture with Willow, bless. So yeah, and just to finish off, just as like a little tribute to Nicola, I'm going to show a video that one of my subscribers sent me, but it's on there. They've got a little YouTube channel. I don't think they really, you know, it's only got a few videos on it, but they gave me permission a while ago to show this, so I'm going to show it to finish off as a tribute to Nicola. And I, as usual, will see you really soon in the next video, and until then, may your God go with you. So let's have a look at this, and then I will probably go straight to my so this subscriber sent me a video of her last walk. It's a very nicely filmed, I think probably filmed by a drone. It's a fantastic video, I think. Thank you for sending it to me. And they gave me permission a while ago to use it, so I'm hoping I've still got permission to use it.
I'm going to start from the car park, which is where she came with the dog and the kids, dropped them off at school, and then we're going to walk along the